On the heels of an industry-shaking Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, Monday Night Raw on Netflix had plenty of questions to answer in a championship-studded lineup. Rhea Ripley defended her Women's World Championship against Io Sky, while the War Raiders put their World Tag Team Championship on the line against the Creed Brothers. Lyra Valkyria also defended her Women's Intercontinental Championship against Ivy Nile. Who emerged victorious from these bouts, and what went down when CM Punk and Seth freaking Rollins were under the same roof at the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York, just 48 hours after the latter cost his rival a shot at headlining WrestleMania 41. Find out now with this recap of Raw, for this is Ridiculously Raw. Hey there, welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and Streamy.com today. Host Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Phenom Michael Bullock. We're not going to waste any time here, guys. Another week, and we're going to be talking about another round of newsworthy shows. And we started off, of course, with Monday Night Raw from the KeyBank Center, Buffalo, New York, the home of the NHL's Buffalo Sabres. And we started it off with CM Punk. Still enraged following his loss in the men's elimination chamber match, a fired up CM Punk wasted little time taking aim at everyone from The Rock to John Cena and the man who cost him his shot at headlining WrestleMania, Seth Rollins. Dropping profanities while expressing his anger and outrage toward all three, he seethed with rage and was as believable as any superstar has been in a long time. His threats brought out Rollins and instigated a brawl that spilled out of the ring and into the crowd as they beat on each other and members of the security team. They were eventually separated during the commercial break, but not before kicking off Raw with a wild, chaotic brawl that set the stage for another battle next Monday night in Madison Square Garden, when CM Punk and Seth freaking Rollins will battle it out inside the confines of a 15-foot-high steel temper cage. This was a red-hot start to the show that picked up where the pay-per-view left off and featured the two biggest stars on this show right out of the gate. A perfect opening segment. CM Punk said, "I'm liable to get us kicked off Netflix right now." And Punk went after Rock, saying, "I've never been so delusional to wear a fake title and proclaim myself the people's champion because I don't deserve it. I earn it." And then going after John Cena, "You've been selling all these kids and all these people BS. You gave up on yourself, you gave up on all these people, and you gave up on all these kids." And then, of course, he went there by saying, "Becky Lynch, you better come get your man, because if I do before you do, I'm going to put him in a wheelchair." And then later in the show, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce announced Rollins and Punk will face each other inside a steel temper cage next Monday night in Madison Square Garden. Holy hell. Like I said, red hot start to the show. It picked up right where the pay-per-view left off. You got the two biggest stars on Raw right out of the box. You couldn't have asked for a more perfect way to start this show. So I don't know what else there is to say. So good old MF Michael Fletcher, come on in. What a way to start things off. CM Punk, well, he's dropped a few of these in his career, but I think last night, simply put, was a pipe bomb.
Yeah, it was a pipe bomb and then some. CM Punk was not having it. He was in a very pissed off mood, rightfully so, because he felt like with everything that happened, especially at Elimination Chamber, he had enough venom going around. You knew instantly that something bad was going to happen, because the minute he walked out, he was in a rage. Grabbing the little topper on the announce table, tossed that to the side, hopped up, and started telling Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, "Give me a name. You know what? Just tell me give me a name. I don't care. I got a hot mic. Just give me a name. Any name you want." And they started blaring out Rock, Cena, and the minute he said The Rock, and then he went into, you saw the rage, you saw the anger, you saw everything. And then, he did call out Becky Lynch saying, "Get your man, because if I see him first, he's going to be in a wheelchair." The minute you heard "burn it down," you knew, oh, it's about to go down. And sure enough, uh, this was one of those meet me here, and we're gonna brawl. And the minute Seth Rollins didn't even do any of his little shtick of like dancing around or anything else, he saw Punk. Punk saw him. They almost met right in the middle, and they started swinging. It didn't take no more than maybe 2.5 seconds before security showed up. And then a few minutes later, Adam Pearce showed up to try to break the whole thing up. But, oh my God, man, that fight was nutty. The only thing I thought there was they were playing the feud, they were flying, and they were going at it. It felt, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I know it's been very recent, and I know I still got the Four Nations in my head. This felt like USA versus Canada. That's exactly how this fight went down. This felt like USA versus Canada. That Saturday game in Montreal where you had the 3 fights in 9 seconds. This absolutely felt like that kind of a fight, man. They do not like each other. They hate each other's guts and everything else. And then on the internet, it spilled over because then Becky Lynch turned around and threw a missile, an unintended missile, and it was CM Punk and she was telling Roxanne Perez, "Get your man," and meaning how Punk and Roxanne were wearing almost similar outfits, the color and the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, "Ooh, why are you going after Roxanne Perez for? What did she do?" That's what I was saying about Becky Lynch. I get it. I understand why you wanted to throw the hay at each other, but why bring Roxanne into the mix? Why bring the little daughter in there? You can't do that. Come on, Bex. That's a little bit out of bounds. That's foul in my opinion. But nah, man, this was red hot. This was amazing. The fans are so behind CM Punk, man. You were hearing it from the minute before he hit the ring to when the music went off. You were hearing it, and it was loud and deafening in Buffalo. CM Punk, CM Punk. That, trust me, man. Punk was Punk could have said anything. He could have read the freaking alphabet, and these fans would have ate it up. That's how good he was. Michael Bullock, it's yours, bro.
All I can say is wow, 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 wow. I mean, you want to talk about starting it off with a bang? I mean, that's what we saw last night. CM Punk. I mean, the moment when they mentioned The Rock and John Cena, you could just see he was seething. He was not in a good mood, especially after what everybody saw as some would say the greatest heel turn of all time, and he didn't. He basically told The Rock, "Oh, just because you're on the board of directors for TKO, you think you're gonna get immunity? No, not from me. I mean." And he went to town on the final boss, and I mean, there's definitely history with The Rock and CM Punk, and CM Punk hasn't forgotten about the night when The Rock won the WWE Championship from him at the Royal Rumble. And I can bet you guys for 1 second CM Punk's the guy that's not to forget something. I'm sure CM Punk hasn't forgotten about that. But what pissed him off even more was John Cena and him turning and basically was saying, "You know what? You pissed all over the fans, especially the kids who looked up to you, and I could see through you that you are nothing more than an absolute fraud." And as a fan, I will say this, and I don't care what anybody says, he is absolutely spot on. I mean, Cena, after everything you've done, the hustle, the loyalty, the respect, everything from the Make-A-Wish, and all the kids who looked up to you, and now, and the thing is, you always wanted to earn your way into a title shot, and now you go and pull this shit by doing what you did Saturday. As a fan, I don't appreciate it one bit. I mean, I'm sure kids are probably like, why did my hero do this? Why is he all of a sudden becoming this, how do I say it, Fletch?
I get where you're coming from. Allow me to play devil's advocate.
No, I'm just saying.
No. Yeah, no, I get it. But allow me to play devil's advocate. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. John Cena was a desperate man. He hadn't won a match in over 3 years. He thought he had the golden opportunity when he lost at the Royal Rumble. He had the shot. He was right there. And yet he still was still that far away. The thing was, why did he do it? It's simple. He wants the 17th reign. He wants to break the record. He will do whatever it takes. And if that means even selling his freaking soul to The Rock to get to the 17, then damn it to hell, I'm going to do it. And thing
that's basically his way of saying, screw the fans, screw the kids, screw anybody who looked up to me.
Yeah, because at this point in the game, he's thinking about legacy. This is his final year. This is the last ride for John Cena. And what is the one thing he wants to do? Leave an imprint on the business. And it doesn't matter how to get it done, but as long as he gets it done. And I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to say this, bold prediction, at WrestleMania, John Cena will complete the mission. He will get his 17th reign. He will break Ric Flair's record. The record's falling. And he will break it at WrestleMania.
But there is one person who doesn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Ric Flair. That is Ric Flair himself. You saw the post.
I know.
He said, hey, as much as I love and respect you, John, I don't want this John Cena to break my damn record. Even if it means I gotta go off blood thinners and do whatever it takes to make sure you don't break that damn record.
It'll be very interesting because now the thing is that, remember, he's going to have a full, now that he's got this thing, there's going to be a run and a thing for him. There's going to be opportunities for Cena because remember, with The Rock as a member of TKO, with him being the guy who's over Triple H, he could insert Cena right into that title fight, and Triple H cannot say a word. He can't.
But the problem is now
he outranks Triple H.
After what John Cena did, I think it's going to be open season. Everybody's going to want a shot at Cena after everything.
Oh yeah. Did. Oh, absolutely. This opened the Pandora's box.
That's the thing with John Cena.
Everybody's going to want to get a piece of Cena. Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind.
Many names. AJ Styles probably wants a piece of it.
Yes.
You saw him mention about what Cena did.
Yeah, but I got a funny feeling that AJ's going to have a little bit of some other guys that's going to be coming after him because A, he said he's going to call out Logan Paul next week in Madison Square Garden. B, he's got Karrion Kross in his ear now, and you know that's gonna piss off AJ. So Kross might be in the crosshairs of AJ Styles.
Well, yeah,
Yes,
AJ Styles is definitely one. What about
AJ's
main event
one.
Jey Uso?
Jey Uso, maybe
Because
Roman
remember,
Reigns.
who was
Maybe,
the one? Who was the one that congratulated Jey Uso for winning the Royal Rumble?
yeah,
And I'm
Cena.
sure Jey Uso's probably saw what happened.
Oh,
Is
he's
like
pissed. Yeah,
he's probably like,
Re-
and you want to know who he's probably more pissed off at as well? Travis Scott. Because remember, he came out with them for that first Raw on Netflix,
yeah.
and he's
I
probably
don't.
like,
You know what?
"Damn, bro, you had to
I
go and
don't.
pull this."
I don't know if he's gonna really care about the Travis Scott. The Cena thing, yes, he's gonna be more pissed off about. Hell, you could think that he might be mad at Rock too.
Yeah, he's.
You
But
think
Jey Uso's probably like, "Man, Cena, you just congratulated me, and now you go and pull this."
But again, the mission is it. Like I said, Michael Bullock, and I'm gonna say it
And
again.
you even mentioned Roman Reigns too.
Yeah, and
Roman's probably like,
that's the one that I think is gonna be the most interesting of them all, because remember, Roman has always been that guy about the big dog status. He's always been the tribal chief. We haven't heard from Roman since.
and don't forget
Remember,
another thing too. What does he think of The Rock? Because remember, he was the one that put the Ulafa on him the night
exactly.
he beat
And,
Solo
and
Sikoa, and he's probably like, "Wait a minute, Rock, you after what you just did with me, you go and pull this?"
yeah, and
No,
the funny thing is, and I want to and I need to note this one other thing. There's more members coming. Cena's the first one. There's more guys. Because if you notice, when The Rock did that throat slash and he left up the number 2 sign, meaning there's 2 more guys. There's 2 more souls that he might be looking to claim. The question is, who are they?
we just don't
One,
know.
maybe one is Drew McIntyre because we know him and Rock talked. Could McIntyre be the
I'll
next guy to jump?
I'll do you one better. What about Seth freaking Rollins?
Could Rollins also be one? Think about that trio. Cena, Rollins, and McIntyre?
Or Cena, Rollins, and Rock?
Yeah, but either way, until they get help, every single superstar on Raw and SmackDown, they're going to want a piece of John Cena after what he pulled on Saturday night. They're probably saying, "Man, bro, we looked up to you, and now all of a sudden you pull this." And
I don't know. I kind of feel like
think of what the legends are. The legends are probably thinking those.
Oh yeah, but
guys like The Undertaker.
Yeah.
I mean, Roddy Piper. Hulk.
Piper's dead. What are you talking about, Bullet?
No. Piper's probably rolling in his damn grave right now.
All right.
After this, but I mean, legends that are living like The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan. I mean, they're probably like, "Man, bro, I mean, we were rooting for you, and now you do this?"
Yeah.
And you want to be in the Hall of Fame someday, as far as we're concerned? You're in the Hall of Shame.
I disagree. I'm saying
that's what they would think.
Yeah, but still, there's been so many guys who made this big turn, and it propelled their careers even bigger, man. Hogan is the biggest example of it. He turned his back on everybody. Turned his back on the kids, turned his back on the fans, turned his back on the entire wrestling world, and still became the biggest star in the world with the installation of the NWO.
Look how over they got.
And
look how over they got.
And that's the thing, Michael Bullock. John Cena, we don't know how long this heel turn could be. This could be just a one-off. We don't know. This might not be a whole year. But the one thing is for sure, as we need to hear, we didn't hear anything from Cena. He did that one mic drop, and everybody was was like, oh my
I
God.
was like, what the
What
hell?
are we going to get now? Because that's the thing that makes everything goes tick. Because that was cinema, Michael Bullock. I don't
what?
care what you say. I don't care what you think.
You gotta
I don't
like it.
care
Well,
anything.
one last thing to Cena, as a fan, I'm glad The Undertaker squashed your ass at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The 2.5 minutes.
But the thing was, at that time, nobody. It was one of those where it was it was a dream fight, but B, I think we all kind of felt like there was no way Cena versus Taker. Man, if that would have been back in the day, who knows how that plays out? But the thing was, Taker was basically on his last legs. Cena was practically part time. I don't think there was any issue or any problem with the fact that Taker squashed Cena. Now, I know a lot of people were pissed off. I know a lot of people were pissed about
Especially Bullock.
how the match went down, because a lot of people were like, really? That's what we're gonna get?
We were expecting
But
a 5-star.
yeah, and the thing was,
And we didn't get it. It wasn't anything. It was anything but that.
it was anything but that. But then again, Taker was not at 100%. From what I heard, Taker was not at 100%. So they were protecting Taker as much as they could. If you notice, he took very little bumps in that match.
He did.
So
He did.
And here's
there's
another
nothing more to say.
And here's another thing I want to bring up, and I brought this up with you, Florio. And Fletch, you're probably hearing this. I mean, well, first CM Punk, he's got some unfinished business with Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah.
Because next week it's the steel cage match. They're gonna face off.
Yep.
I say this is where we're gonna get the return of Roman Reigns, and Roman's gonna screw Seth Rollins over.
I agree.
Match.
I mean,
payback
for what happened at the Royal Rumble.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're Roman Reigns, it wasn't just a foot stomp that got put on you. You got a double foot stomp. That means a receipt is coming for his ass.
And it's going to set up for Roman and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
And then that's the minute CM Punk can make the vow that he can go for the main event. And the thing is,
he's going to cash in on that favor from Paul Heyman.
But here's the thing. If you want to be in the main event of WrestleMania, and I know you're going to say, what? You got to go after the World Heavyweight Championship, because the main event is actually Jey Uso versus Gunther. It's not going to be John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. They are not the main event of WrestleMania. Jey Uso versus Gunther is going to be the main event of WrestleMania.
Well, I was thinking that maybe he was gonna cash it on the favor, maybe just to get a little payback on John Cena, but I don't know. I really don't know.
There's a lot of ways this can go.
There's a lot of ways it can go, and how many weeks do we have?
We have 7 weeks to build this thing up.
There's a lot of different ways they can go with it, but they got plenty of time to do this.
And you may not like the Cena heel turn, Bullock. I know you don't like the Cena heel turn, but as they always say,
I say professionally, I think it's great, but as a fan, it just leaves me heartbroken.
I understand.
So,
and I agree with that. There's no argument with that at that aspect. No,
absolutely not.
So, other than that, I mean, this was a really good opening to the show. So, with that being said, I think we're on to our first matchup of the night.
We are indeed. And to put this whole thing to bed, let me just say it like this. Straight from me. And that is, when it comes to what happened there, this is Triple H's WWE. It's not Vince's WWE. If Vince was still running things, I guarantee you Saturday night never would have happened. Trust me when I tell you. So, What happened at
And
the end
this
with
is
Cena
why
and
Triple
Cody?
H is the best booker in professional wrestling right now.
What you saw with Cena and Cody on Saturday? If Vince was still running things, trust me, it would have been a love fest. Trust me. So,
I mean, if you thought that this was crazy, who knows what we can expect at WrestleMania?
we still got some craziness to get into here tonight, guys. So, trust me. We're just scratching the surface here, gentlemen. MF, keep your mic on because you're leading off on our first match. Yeah, MF will be leading off on our first match of the night. Speaking of Gunther, we have the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther squaring off against Otis of the Alpha Academy. Maxine Dupree, Akira Tozawa in Otis's corner. Winner of the match, 9 minutes and 45 seconds. It was the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. He wins it in 9:45. MF, after what Gunther and Tozawa did last week, we were clamoring for a Gunther and Otis match, and they must have heard us. We got it, and Gunther wins it in 9:45.
And the thing is that Gunther and Otis absolutely delivered. This was exactly the match that we were hoping for. This was exactly the match that we wanted it to see. And yeah, it was good. It was solid. It was amazing. I loved how this played out because it was a solid matchup. Up and down. It went every which way that it could go. But at the end of the night, the right men won. The man that needed it to win it, the man that needed it to get the job done, got the job done. That's exactly how it was supposed to go. I was very happy. I was very, everything that came out of that was solid. So good to solid. It was easily for me at least almost a 3-star bout. Obviously at the end, Gunther wanted it to make an example. Next thing you know, Tozawa tried to come in. That brought out Jey Uso. And the thing was, Gunther got a little measure of revenge on Jey Uso and got him this time around. Jey got a little bit of Gunther the first time around, but remember, he was saying it. And you've been hearing what Jey Uso been saying. Gunther has been promising 7 weeks of hell for Jey Uso because of the fact that he made the decision to pick him to fight at WrestleMania. And Jey is like, you know what? The hell with it. You want to bring hell? Then we're going to hell. And I'm taking you with me. That is everything that he's trying to do and trying to say that, I'm going to win this and everything else. Now, God, I hope I am wrong with what I'm about to say because I read a dirt sheet that's going to infuriate Anthony Florio, Michael Bullock, and the viewers in the house here tonight. I heard through a dirt sheet that Jey Uso not only is going to lose at WrestleMania, but they are talking about it to be a burial at WrestleMania.
God, I hope it's not that.
They are talking about the level of this burial to be similar to when Brock Lesnar destroyed John Cena at SummerSlam. Like they're talking that type of level of a takeout. If this is true, this is going to absolutely set Jey Uso back immensely if he gets buried at WrestleMania like that. Because that will further Gunther's reign. But in the process of burying Jey Uso in that fashion at WrestleMania would be absolutely... it would be horrific. It would be so blasphemous. I don't even know what to even say. I would look at Triple H and the creative and saying, what the hell are you doing? Why did you do that to Jey Uso? who's one of the most popular baby faces on the roster right now. Why would you bury him at WrestleMania like that? So I hope I'm wrong. I hope that that's just a stupid rumor that probably is manufactured by Dave Meltzer, but it wasn't Dave Meltzer that reported this. So that's why I'm a little concerned. So at the end of the day, I hope that's wrong. I hope that's wrong.
If that happens, Fletch, I'm going to unleash my inner phenom mode, and it is going to be very bad.
We'll see. But nothing more to say. 3 stars. Bullock, is yours.
Yeah, 3 stars for me as well. I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously you wanted to give Gunther the momentum, and yeah, what he did to Jey Uso was just, man. I mean, remember, like you said, it was the 7 weeks of hell that he was going to put Jey Uso through for choosing him. So, yeah, I mean, he finally got one over on Jey Uso. So God, Fletch, I mean, I hope that dirt sheet is not true. I mean, not just with Gunther not only winning, but I hope it's not true that they're thinking about burying Jey Uso, because I'm going to tell you this right here, right now. If that happens, where he gets buried, I'm going to go on the biggest phenom rant of all time, because Jey Uso is so over with the WWE Universe, and to bury him like that would be a travesty, and it would set Jey Uso back so far that he may not be able to recover from this. He may not. So, I hope it's not true. So, memo to Triple H, do not do this. Because if it happens, you guys know who's probably going to get the last laugh on this? Come on, guys. We all know who it.
The Rock, of course.
Well,
No.
not just The Rock.
Tony Khan.
Tony Khan.
It's gonna boomerang. It's gonna be a boomerang effect, because now the AEW marks will have a reason to attack WWE, and it's not because of McMahon, but now everybody will start will start questioning Triple H's booking decisions.
Yeah, and Tony Khan would be sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna get the fans back so much that I'm gonna smile so much, and I'm gonna rub it in all the haters' faces.
And the thing is that one of my buddies went out on a limb, did a bold prediction, and said that if WWE plays this right and this WrestleMania is the greatest of all time, he actually boldly predicted that this would be the death nail of AEW. He went out on a limb and said that if WWE cooks and absolutely destroys at WrestleMania, that this would be the end of AEW as we know it. Like, he already said it. He went out on that limb and said that this would be the end of AEW. That AEW would never recover. That they would have to close their doors forever, because nobody would give 2 shits about them anymore. But the problem is, if that burial happens, that actually might save AEW. That might open the door for them. That little crack of that doorway could be open, that AEW could swoop in, and they could once again tip the balance of power.
I'm sure Tony Khan is hoping for that.
Oh yeah, he's looking for a screw up. He's looking for anything right now.
But if it's executed to perfection, like with this WrestleMania, I'm in agreement with him. I think this is where the final nail gets put in AEW's coffin, with the way it's going right now. Florio, your thoughts as I give it to you. 3 stars.
Well, let me get into the match first, and then I'll chime in on what MF said there. The match was a brilliant display of a believable badass champion pushed to the brink by a big man whose abilities are beyond the comedy persona he has become synonymous with. Otis went blow for blow with one of the best strikers in the business, and for a moment had fans believing he may pull off the unthinkable. But ultimately, Gunther outlasted him and scored the win with an impressive powerbomb. And then after the match, he continued his attack until Jey Uso hit the ring and made the save, seemingly chasing his WrestleMania opponent off. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller attacked Jey Uso, and despite clearing them out of the squared circle, Jey Uso fell prey to a chokeout from the ring general, who stood tall to close out the segment. A great match between two talented heavyweights and a little WrestleMania hype. This was a great follow-up to last week's segment involving these competitors and sets the stage for Jey Uso to fend off Austin Theory and Grayson Waller in the coming weeks. And next week on Raw in Madison Square Garden, Jey Uso squaring off against Grayson Waller. So that's the story here. Otis and Gunther beat the unholy life out of each other in an exchange of chops, and both competitors worked together for a powerbomb that secured Gunther a definitive win. Now then, as to what MF mentioned about that dirt sheet, I'm gonna be the man who tells it like it is. I don't see that happening. I really don't. I truly believe in my heart of hearts that Jey Uso is walking out of WrestleMania the new World Heavyweight Champion. He's way too over. Do you have any idea how much merchandise that guy sells? He is one of the top merchandise sellers, if not the top merchandise seller when it comes to shop. I mean, I am definitely thinking about getting a Yeet shirt in time for WrestleMania so I can have that, so I can wear that Yeet shirt in support of Jey Uso, because I want to see Jey Uso win the World Heavyweight Championship. Considering that he came very close to doing so on that Saturday night's main event on January 25th. He took Gunther to the limit, but he came up short. WrestleMania is where dreams come true, folks. And I believe in my heart of hearts, Jey Uso is winning the World Heavyweight Championship. God forbid, if this dirt sheet that MF said is true, so help me God, when we do our WrestleMania recap, I am going to unleash hell like I have never unleashed hell before. Get ready for a 97 Bret Hart ridiculously over Anthony Floyd. You don't want to see that guy. That guy's coming out. Phenom's coming out. I don't know how MF will feel, but, we'll have to wait and find out. But I hope that dirt sheet is blasphemous. That's all I hope. That's all I hope for it. And God forbid if this happens, if they really do this, it'll be one of the biggest miscarriages of justice. I'll consider it one of the biggest miscarriage of justice in WWE history, even more so than Cody Rhodes not finishing the story at 39 when we all thought he was going to, and honestly felt he should have. But it is what it is. So take it with a grain of salt. Read into it what you will, but I'm not buying it. I'm not. Jey Uso's winning the World Heavyweight Championship. Believe me, he's going to win that title. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, whatever. But after how close he came at Saturday night's main event, I truly believe Jey Uso's winning that title. He's ready for that moment. We already know how over he is anyway. I mean,
I want to say this.
Yes.
I would not mind if Jey Uso loses, at least give him like that hope spot, like Saturday night's main event. If he loses that way, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
If it's a burial, then we're gonna have some problems. Then the dogs will be unleashed. But I'm giving it the concern and whatever you want to say, and I do get it. But I'm also going to be very, very, very on edge about this game as well because I really, really, really am hoping for,
Of course.
whatever. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. All right, we got a lot of things to get into here, guys. So, but like I said, 3-star match here. So, so with that, let's move on to our next matchup here. All right, just give me one moment here. This thing's kind of wonky on me. All right. Women's, we're ready for the first of our 3 title defenses. Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra Valkyria defending against Ivy Nile. Winner of the match, 9 minutes and 35 seconds. And still the Women's Intercontinental Champion. It is Lyra Valkyria. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
What was the time of the fall?
9 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yeah, I'll give this about an even 3 stars for this. I mean, I thought this was a solid match here, and yeah, the right woman went over here. I mean, it would have been too soon to take the title off of her. So, yeah, so 3 stars for me. It's yours, Florio.
Yeah, another 3-star match. This was a strong match that highlighted Ivy Nile and proved Lyra Valkyria's grit and resilience. Both women came out of this stronger than they went in. And more importantly, the title continued to build credibility and momentum on the back of a quality in-ring battle. This was the best Ivy Nile has looked on TV in a while. She was confident, carried her portion of the bout to near perfection, and shined brightest in her biggest opportunity to date. Using the Intercontinental Championship as the work rate title and allowing Valkyria to get over as a wrestler's champion is far from the worst idea in the world. So I'm going to give this another solid 3 stars for the effort. So another solid 3 stars for me. So MF, Lyra Valkyria successfully defends the Women's Intercontinental Championship against Ivy Nile in 9 minutes and 35 seconds. So MF, let's get your thoughts now. 3 stars for me.
3 stars, fine match. Good battle for the most part. Happy that Lyra won. She deserves to keep the title going. I don't know who they're gonna have her go up against next. I think that's gonna be the $1 million question. But there's also people like Dakota Kai who said that she's making her abundance clear. Even Bayley actually even mentioned that that she also has desires of becoming the Intercontinental Women's Champion. So it does open the door for many opportunities. Many ladies now, like I said, now that the division is more opened up, I think it's going to be very interesting to see who goes through the door now and tries to get the title next. So it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good fight. So 3 stars, and Lawyer, it's yours.
All right. And then, of course, backstage, Adam Pearce caught up with Seth Rollins, and the tense confrontation ended with the Raw general manager informing Seth Rollins that he will face CM Punk next Monday night in Madison Square Garden in a 15-foot-high steel temper cage. In the ring, Ludwig Kaiser cut a promo on Penta, which brought the luchador to the squared circle. A physical back and forth concluded with the babyface wiping out Kaiser at ringside with a dive and standing tall to close things out. I'm going to be honest with you. This was a rare miss on this show. A segment that accomplished little, but it did remind the audience that Penta and Ludwig Kaiser have unfinished business. This was a nothing burger of a statement, unfortunately, and did little to give fans a reason to stay excited for Penta's battles with Ludwig Kaiser more than they already had been. So with all due respect, I'm going to bypass this. Backstage, Bianca Belair continued to plead her innocence in the attack that took Jade Cargill out and put her on the shelf, though her demeanor continues to suggest all is not what it seems. And then in a pre-taped video, Chad Gable finally made it to Mexico and received a mystery box from the man whose name was given to him by Dominic Mysterio. Back in the arena, Gable's American-made teammates, the Creed brothers, we're getting ready, and we move on to our second championship bout of the night for the World Tag Team Championship. The champions, the War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, defending against the Creed brothers, and the winners of the match in 11 minutes and 40 seconds, and still the World Tag Team Champions, Eric and Ivar, the War Raiders. Happy birthday, Ivar. It was Ivar's birthday yesterday, so a nice little birthday present for Ivar. 3 1/4, 3 1/2 for this one. A physical battle for the top prize in the tag division ensued, with the challengers using their uber athleticism to gain control of the bout and cut the champions off from each other. Another highlight reel for the Creeds, who showed out and proved they may be the premier tag team in WWE today. With that said, though, it was the bigger, stronger, and nastier War Raiders who emerged victorious. Whether they can fend off American-made much longer is another question. With the athleticism of wrestlers the size of Ivar and the Creeds on display throughout, this match is always impressive. The 450 splash from Brutus Creed and the shooting star press from Julius Creed were extraordinary. These two teams have done tremendous work in helping to put the Raw Tag Team division back on the map. 3 1/4, teetering on 3.5 stars. Very good match. Not much more to say here. MF, War Raiders, still the World Tag Team Champions. They win it in 11:40 over the Creeds.
I'm going to slam the brakes. I'm backing this up because you said something that really you should have. I really wish I was here for it, but I was distracted for a moment, and you totally blew by something that I really wanted to talk about, Anthony Florio.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No,
You're absolutely right.
No,
we did have a big takeaway.
Here's the reason why. The thing in Mexico with Chad Gable.
Oh, the Chad Gable thing.
The Chad Gable thing. Okay?
Okay. My apologies.
That mystery box. No. There's a mystery box.
Yes.
Looks like, I don't know, Aztec looking thing.
Uh-oh. Like something out of Lucha Underground?
Have you ever heard of the Gauntlet of the Gods?
Yes.
That's what he got. And guess who? And guess who told me this? And guess who gave me the little birdie info? My own 2184 crew member, Bill McConnell. He made me think about it for a minute. He was like, you know, that box looked very familiar. And you know WWE was talking about sniffing around after trying to get something a la Lucha Underground-esque. And that they were trying to purchase Lucha Underground. Now, we were like, no, this is bull crap, this is BS, fake news, whatever. What if they are? What if they are thinking of getting something from Lucha Underground? The Gauntlet of the Gods? Do you know who the last man who had it? Brian Cage. Anthony Florio, you know this because I know how much of a big fan that you were of Lucha Underground. You weren't as deep or as you weren't as yeah. And I was gonna say you weren't as deep or enthralled about it until I forced you, before I pushed you into the fire.
And I'm glad you did.
But that's the thing. What if that little box thingy is the Gauntlet to the Gods?
Holy hell.
That is the one neutralizer that could take out if there's one thing that scares the crap out of the luchadors, it's that Gauntlet to the Gods. Think of it as Thanos' hands with the Infinity Stones in Marvel's Endgame and Infinity Wars. The Gauntlet. All 5 stones makes him the most powerful individual in the world. With a snap of the fingers, he wipes out half the world as we know it. You give Chad Gable the Gauntlet to the Gods? he would become a game changer that he could actually take out the lucha libre as we know it. You give him that kind of power, it's a game changer. If that's what he got, the gauntlet to the gods. This is the first thing of Lucha Underground material that seeps into WWE. Maybe that might be the door in for Rey Fenix to show up. You don't know.
Rey Fenix released yesterday, finally.
And that might be his ticket in. Because we know Rey Fenix, Pentagon, and there's a few of the guys in WWE that were members of Lucha Underground. A lot of them were. So what if? What if that gauntlet shows up? What if the gauntlet comes into play? My dudes, that's a game changer. Now, as far as the other match, the tag team title fight, 3 stars, solid match, great action all the way around. I was thoroughly impressed. And yeah, there was a "this is awesome" chant, and I concur. Well done, great matchup. Michael Bullock, I give it to you, brother.
Yeah, three and a quarter for this match. I mean, a really good match. I mean, no surprise with the champion staying the champion, so nothing more to say. Let's move on.
All right. Next up, an interview between Jackie Redmond and Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Bron Breakker was interrupted by the arrival of the Judgment Day's Finn Balor, who wasted little time talking trash and claiming he was untouchable in the ring. Breakker exited the stands and entered the ring, where he targeted the Irishman, only to be confronted by Carlito and Dominic Mysterio. After wiping them out, he found himself on the defensive against Balor. The champion recovered and chased the Prince off, then leveled Carlito to put an exclamation point on the segment. It appears Breakker's path to WrestleMania runs through the Judgment Day, and while that may not be appealing to everyone, it's the perfect use of everyone involved, especially without anything more significant to do come April 19 and 20. Finn Balor is a great opponent for Bron Breakker, and if Dominic is inserted into the match, it only serves to further the tension in Judgment Day. There is no superstar more intense every time they hit the ring than Bron Breakker. He is freakishly explosive. So that's definitely something we're going to have to keep an eye on there, gentlemen. So I'm hearing a possible multi-man match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental belt. So we got to keep an eye on that for the next several weeks. All right. Next week, Madison Square Garden, Monday Night Raw. Of course, here's what's on the docket here, boys. AJ Styles, the phenomenal AJ Styles, will call out Logan Paul. Jey Uso will go one-on-one with Grayson Waller. How about this, guys? The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee in a tornado tag team matchup. You know what that means. No tags, anything goes. No disqualifications. And then, of course, the main event, the return match, 2 months in the making, the return match from the Netflix premiere in Los Angeles, CM Punk, Seth freaking Rollins, inside the confines of a 15-foot-high steel temper cage. Whew, that's going to be something. All right. But here we go, boys. Main event time. Women's World Championship. On the line, the champion, Rhea Bloody Ripley, defending against the Genius of the Sky, Io Sky. Women's Elimination Chamber match winner, Bianca Belair, sitting right near the commentary table, the ringside announce table, to take in this match. And the winner of the match in 18 minutes and 40 seconds and new women's world champion, Io Sky. What? Triple H promised, they said twists and turns were coming. They were not kidding. They were not joking. WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania has just been turned upside down and then some. Fight of the night here. 4.25, teetering on 4.5 stars. Whoa. Oh, my Lord. Oh, Lord. Wow. This was a strong match that was connected by the necessary interference of Bianca Belair, assuming the plan is for all 3 women to clash on the WrestleMania stage. Io Sky winning the title here was the only way to get to that point. The genius of the Sky could not afford a loss. Bianca Belair was already solidified for the big show, and Rhea Ripley is bulletproof from a creative standpoint. Rhea can invoke her rematch clause and slide into the WrestleMania match with Io Sky and Bianca Belair in what would be a legitimate main event any other year. Michael Cole had a great stat. Io Sky achieved 2 victories over Rhea Ripley in their previous singles matches. The Mae Young Classic of 2018 and the triple threat match also involving Charlotte Flair at NXT In Your House 2020 when Io Sky, known then as Io Shirai, won the NXT Women's Championship. The ovation for Rhea Ripley is that of a main event superstar. She is on par with the top stars in the company and one of the great success stories in recent memory. Ripley obliterated Sky with a big boot that turned her opponent inside out. Great looking spot. And Io borrowed from her Damage Control teammates using the insane elbow from Kairi Sane and the Asuka lock from Asuka on Rhea Ripley. What a stunning turn of events. I certainly did not see this coming. When we did our Elimination Chamber recap the other night, a good friend of MF's, I believe his name is Jacob Turner. He asked the question, who did we have winning this match? And you heard me say it. I said Rhea. I honestly thought Rhea was going to win. Set up Rhea and Bianca. What we should have gotten 2 years ago at 39, but they pulled the rug out from under us. But there was no harm, no foul, because Rhea and Charlotte only gave us the greatest women's match in WrestleMania history. But man, oh man, when Triple H said twists and turns on the road to WrestleMania, he was not joking. You may not like this outcome, but let me just say it like this. When Papa H cooks, gentlemen, we all eat. We all eat, and damn it to hell, we had a full course meal last night, man. That's all he's been doing. When Vince was running the show, it was like, I want to say, healthy sack lunches. When Papa H cooks, he gives us the full course meal and then some. Holy hell. So, and one other thing to note here. Kudos to referee Jessica Carr. Because, Rhea got in Bianca's face. Bianca put her hands on Rhea. She shoved her. And normally that would be grounds for a disqualification. But Jessica Carr, realizing the gravity of the situation, the fact that this match had major implications for WrestleMania, went against the grain, and she looked the other way. She let it go. Any other day, any other match, that would have been grounds for an automatic disqualification. A lot of people would have cried foul if we had gotten the DQ finish. But at first that was one of them. But then after looking at it and after hearing what some other people said here on social media and here on YouTube, I'm going to look the other way and give kudos to Jessica Carr for letting the match continue because of the implications involved. So, incredible match with a very surprise outcome and a well-deserved moment for Io Sky, Women's World Champion, and What a moment for her. The unpredictability train keeps on rolling, gentlemen. Let the road to WrestleMania begin in the Raw Women's Division. The battle for the top prize in the Women's Division. We're looking at a three-way, boys. There's no way around it. Wow. What a stunner. 4.25, 4.5 stars. Fight of the night. No doubt about it. And MF, we have a new champion. You know what that means, Monsoon? Hit us with it.
Yes, history has indeed been made. You can make an argument for unprecedented crowning. I know definitely, I definitely will. I will not disagree with that call either. But Io Sky punches her ticket to WrestleMania. She is through now. And yeah, it was a major setback for Rhea Ripley. But the thing was, if you think about it, there's some people out there that is yelling that because of Bianca shoving Rhea, that should have been a disqualification. I got to give kudos where kudos is. They did the right decision. Jessica Carr was the MVP. She could have called that, but she didn't. She knew what the magnitude of the moment was. She knew what was riding on the line, because not only was it a championship match, but an opportunity at WrestleMania. She's like, no, I'm not going to do this. Knock it off. You go back to where you know what? I would have been fine if she would have kicked Bianca out of the arena. I would have been fine if Bianca got ejected. But the thing was, Bianca never got involved. And the thing that I was saying the whole time last night was that Rhea got pissed for nothing. Rhea got mad because Bianca was cheering on Io, but the thing was, she wasn't cheering on Io. She was begging Io to get back into the ring because I don't want this match to end in a countout. She was feeling what Anthony Floyd was feeling at the time, what I was feeling at the time, what Michael Bullock was feeling at the time. We did not want this match to end in a countout. We did not want a BS finish. Give us a clean victory. Give us a clear winner. A 1, 2, 3 or a submission, and we would have been fine. That's why. But Rhea saw what Bianca was doing, and she got mad because she thought, "Oh, you're siding with Io? Why? He's your opponent at WrestleMania? No. Even Bianca's like, no. I'm enjoying this match. I want to see you two go to see who I can face at WrestleMania. So I'm sorry, but Rhea's ego, Rhea took her eye off the ball for 1 second, and Rhea lost the fight. Io did everything right, and she wrestled a damn near perfect match to win the title. Now, a lot of people are pissed off because they're like, oh, great. Now we're going to get Io versus Bianca. That's too easy. Io's not going to win. The thing is, we already know for a fact that, remember, Rhea still got the rematch clause. She could insert herself and create a triple threat. So, no, this road is not done yet. There's a lot of twists and turns still ahead. But Anthony Floyd was right. This was a major shocker. None of us had Io Sky winning the Women's World Championship in our bingo cards last night, folks. We did not. And anybody who did, you're lying to yourselves. Don't kid yourself on that. But this was a great moment. I'm happy. A 3.5 to 4 fight of the night. Congratulations, Io. Well done. And the thing that made the moment even more awesome was the backstage, where she got to hug Triple H, and you could feel the emotion. But remember, he said it. It's earned, not given. She earned the right to be. She earned to be the Women's World Champion. She's earned the right to be going to WrestleMania. And quite frankly, she deserves that moment. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Amen to that, brother.
Yeah, definitely amen to that. So, yeah, 4.25, 4.5 fight of the night. I mean, yeah, nobody saw this coming. I certainly didn't. And like you said, I think Rhea is going to invoke the rematch clause, and who knows? Maybe it becomes a triple threat at WrestleMania. But I don't know about you guys, but I know Florio. I mentioned this to you, Florio, but I don't know if you saw like after the match, you could see there was a sly smile on the face of Bianca after it.
Yeah.
Do you think that could probably tell us something?
The thing is that at the grand scheme of things is, if you're Bianca Belair, you claim to be the fastest, the strongest, the greatest, the smartest, whatever. At the end of the day, was that a calculated move by Bianca to maybe think that now that Rhea's out of the mix, that now I may have an easier path to the title by going after Io? But I don't know. I kind of feel like Bianca's more of a person that would relish the competition more than anything else. Like I said, if you really think about it, Bianca, her attitude was she was enjoying the match. She was enjoying the fight. She did not want that match to end in a count out. And that's why she was kind of begging Io, come on, girl, go get back in the ring. Come on, hurry. Get back into the ring. Like I said, I get why she got mad. I really was thinking, oh, why? You want why? Why do you want? Why are you cheering for why are you cheering for Io? Why are you cheering for Io? Bianca was saying, hey, I was just cheering because I was enjoying the match. I think this is one of those times where I'm going to give Bianca Belair a pass here more than any other time, Michael Bullock, because I kind of feel like she wasn't doing anything that really was trying to stir the hornet's nest. But Rhea took it as an offense because of the long-term friendship that they had. But the thing was, I didn't see anything that made me believe like Bianca was up to something. We all know she may have had something to do with the Jade Cargill situation, but as far as this goes, I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it yet. I'm still trying to decipher, but I know there's a few people out there that are really. Now, but I will say this: the real fans are really pissed off at Bianca Belair. They are. So unless there's something there that I'm not seeing, who knows? But you might be onto something, Bullock.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
So let's get into our overall thoughts on this edition of Raw.
And Girl MF Michael Fletcher leads it off. Oh, man. Buffalo set the table, just put the Garden on notice.
Yeah, they did. But come on, Anthony. You know, and I know, and everybody knows, when you talk about Madison Square Garden, New York City, next week's Raw is going to be absolutely insane. No doubts in my mind. The Garden's ready. The Garden is ready. We're ready for a garden party next week with Raw. Plus, that WrestleMania sign's going to be in Madison Square Garden. Oh, no. This is going to go nuts. Anyway, another 8.5 out of 10. Newsworthy show. You know, the Mega Brawl that jumped off Monday Night Raw was insane. I really got nothing more to add. The show was amazing. The show was great. There was nothing bad that I saw. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
What did you give it?
8.5.
Yeah, 8.5 for me as well. I mean, yeah, there were some things I could have done without, but other than that, not really that much to complain about. So Flory, what's yours? Then let's get into NXT.
Gentlemen, we are firmly on the road to WrestleMania, and that is on full display. Raw on Netflix has already been a vastly improved show, and last night's show may have been the best yet. From the red-hot opening segment involving CM Punk and Seth Rollins to the quality in-ring action from the 3 championship matches, not to mention the absurdly good Gunther versus Otis showdown. This was a show that had something for everyone while focusing on the names and rivalries that will ultimately make up this year's Showcase of the Immortals. And add to that a legitimately surprising victory for Io Sky in the main event. And you have a show that capitalized on the buzz from Elimination Chamber and should have fans excited about next week's big show at Madison Square Garden. 8 to 8.5 out of 10 for me as well. So there isn't anything else left to say on that, gentlemen. So let's now get into NXT. This show served as what I would call the buffer, the filler to the equally huge NXT roadblock that will be emanating from the theater in Madison Square Garden. So yeah. All right. Bear with me for just a moment here. Having a little snafu here. So, I mean, we set the stage. Of course, last week's show in Cincinnati set the stage for some incredible action and, setting the stage and with all these huge matches coming up and okay. So a little surprising here. All right. So of course, this week's show emanating from we were back in the Performance Center, the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. And we started it off with our first match of the night. It was a tag team action, as it was Sol Ruca teaming up with Zarya, and they squared off against the Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, and the winners of the match in 10 minutes and 11 seconds, Sol Ruca and Zarya. They win the match, but here's the thing. We had ourselves a championship committee moment, gentlemen, because Sol Ruca pins. She literally pinned the Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green. So we're looking at a championship committee moment here, guys. So yeah. So for this, I will give this about 3 to 3.25. It was a fun tag team match. Niven and Green are amazing together and prop up any team they face. Zarya and Sol Ruca are coming into their own as a team. It's a shame that the women's tag team championships are not more regularly defended in NXT. Hell of a finish here. So 10-11, I'll give this about 3 to 3.25 stars for the effort. So not much more to say. MF, championship committee moment here. Sol Ruca scoring the pin on the Women's United States Champion.
Yeah, 3 stars for me. I thought it was a very solid fight. Yeah, championship committee moment. I can't disagree with that at all. And I kind of feel like it's going to be very interesting to see what they do now with this. And yeah, I thought they did a really good job with it. Big win and nothing more to say. So Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give it 3 stars as well. I mean, like you said, a big win for Zarya and Sol Ruca, and Sol Ruca pinning the champion. I think it's definitely a championship committee moment here. So we'll see what happens with that. So nothing more to say. Let's move on.
All right, MF, you'll be leading off on our next match, which is Jada Parker squaring off against Kalani Jordan. Jada Parker winning the match 12 minutes and 51 seconds. So, MF, Jada Parker defeating Kalani Jordan 12:51.
Yeah, this is another solid match, another 3 to 3.5 stars. There wasn't much for me to say on this one. Jada Parker, continues her hot streak, no doubt in my mind. Like I said, another solid performance and another big win for her. So really nothing more to say. Another 3.25, 3.5. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
I'll give the 3.5. I mean, yeah, definitely a big win for Jada Parker, and you heard what she said after the match.
Julia,
Stephanie
Von Kier, Stephanie,
I'm going to be at Roadblock, and I'm going to watch your match. So I think we're looking at the first person to challenge whoever comes out of that main event as the next challenger. So we'll see what happens. It's yours, Florio.
And what was your rating for the match, Bullock?
3.5.
Okay. 3.25, 3.5 for me. Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan did a great job selling the heat between the two of them. Jordan's elevated aggression really sold how much she hates Parker. And Parker, on the other hand, hates everyone. So she matches Jordan's aggression and then some. The finish of this was great as well, as Jordan missed the 450. She missed the 450. It looked gnarly, and Parker could have pinned Jordan after that, but Jordan was channeling her inner Taka Michinoku at the 2000 Royal Rumble. If you know, you know. So 3.25, 3.5 stars. All right. Then we had an in-ring segment with the TNA World Tag Team Champions, the Hardys, and the NXT Universe drowns the TNA Tag Team Champions, Matt and Jeff Hardy, out with cheers. Jeff notes that it feels so good to be in NXT and back home in the WWE. Matt Hardy puts over No Quarter Catch Crew as a top tag team in NXT and the entire NXT locker room. Hank and Tank interrupt. Tank says they mean no disrespect. They came out here to say thank you. The crowd boos them for interrupting the Hardys. Hank and Tank ask for advice. They want to know what they need to break through. Matt says that to stand out, they have to act outside the norm. And Jeff adds that they need to take it to the extreme. And then enter Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura. Briggs tells Hank and Tank to stop kissing up. They don't deserve a title shot. Briggs and Inamura want a title shot against the Hardys. If Hank and Tank have a problem with that, Briggs wants them to do something about it. Hank and Tank take it to the extreme and land stereo dives. All four men fight off. Fraxium appears in the ring behind the Hardys, and Matt Hardy, in broken Matt Hardy fashion, he said, "Fraxium, I knew you'd come." And Frazier and Axiom want to put to bed who the best tag team in the world is today. That question will be answered at Roadblock next week. I'm going to bypass this. Seeing the Hardys back in WWE is fun, but I thought this segment was dragged down by Hank and Tank. They added nothing to this segment. So we move on to this matchup. Jordynne Grace squaring off against Cora Jade. Jordynne Grace wins the match via referee stoppage in 7 minutes and 35 seconds. It was initially reported as a knee injury, but now I have just received a further update on this from a reliable source, and this is what I heard. Cora Jade was injured during her match against Jordynne Grace on tonight's NXT. The match was called off due to an apparent head injury, and Cora walked to the back with a trainer. The fear was that Cora Jade, who had ACL surgery in January of 2024, suffered another knee injury. Although head injuries are certainly concerning, it is good to know that she did not damage her surgically repaired knee again. Here's wishing Cora Jade the best with what is hopefully just a minor setback. And let's not forget, guys, Cora Jade is scheduled to challenge Masha Slamovich for the TNA Knockouts Championship on March 14th at the TNA Sacrifice Special on the TNA Plus app. So, because out of respect for this, I feel that we should all give this match an NA. So, Michael Bullock, you lead off on this. So, MF.
Are they kind of labeling this as a possible? I was gonna ask, are they labeling this as a possible concussion? Because that's the only thing I can think of.
It doesn't necessarily say concussion. They're saying
because normally when you say a head injury, I'm thinking concussion. At least in my opinion.
Yes, that's definitely that is a possibility. I hope that's not true, but the key words in all of this are apparent head injury. Those are the key words. So read into that what you will. Take it with a grain of salt. So Michael Bullock, let's start it with you here. And this is where we had another impromptu NXT chat after this. You called me right as this happened. And Jordynne Grace winning the match, referee stoppage, 7 minutes and 35 seconds. And Bullock initially feared the worst. Bullock was like, "Oh no, she hurt her knee again." No, now they're saying it's a head injury and apparent head injury. Doesn't necessarily say concussion, but we'll keep an eye out on it. So, Michael Bullock, you are our NXT insider here. You're our NXT guru here. It doesn't matter if you like Cora Jade or you don't. She's still a human being. She's still a wrestler. And anytime you see a referee throw up the X, when you see that dreaded X, you know
it's something serious.
We're all going to give this an NA, but your thoughts on this, because I mean, you started off anyway, and you're also Mr. NXT, so this is a major blow if it's serious.
Yeah, we need to keep an eye on it. I mean, you know what? I mean, at least it's not a knee injury, because that poor girl is going through so much with her knee. But at least it's a head. I mean, still, I mean, we don't know the severity of it. I mean, hopefully we can definitely get some information as it's passed along, like whether it is a concussion or who knows. But yeah, I think, like you said, I think we'll see how, depending on what it is, and hopefully she still gets to compete at that sacrifice event. So nothing more for me to say. It's yours, Florio.
Yeah, very scary situation. This one never really got out of the gates, and with the injury, I strongly feel it is not right to put a rating on this. I hope and pray that Cora Jade is okay, and prayers up for Cora Jade, the best NXT women's wrestler that has yet to win the NXT Women's Championship. I believe that day will come one day. I just don't know when it's going to be, but we will most certainly keep an eye on this developing situation, and if anything else comes out, we will be sure to update you. But it's unfortunate that it had to go down this way, but it is what it is, and it's definitely gonna. We're all gonna in an act of solidarity, out of respect for this injury, we're all gonna give this an NA rating. But you hate to see a match end like that. Anytime you see that dreaded X, it's serious. So, NA for me, obviously. Prayers up for Cora Jade, obviously. So, and MF. We always kid around about how Cora is one of your favorites, and that is legitimately true. And
yeah,
but let's not. But the thing is, serious matter here, and I mean, we're all concerned. I mean, Bullock's concerned because it's his show. I'm concerned as a fan. You, of course, because she's one of your favorites, and I know this has got to be really hard for you.
Yeah, this is really hard for me, but the injury was bad, and I feel horrible that that happened. But it is. Uh, we'll have to wait and see how it plays out, but we're hoping for the best. We're hoping for an opportunity. We're hoping that core is okay, but we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, this was wild how all this played out. So, there's really nothing more to say. Like I said, unfortunately, it is an NA, and we wish it nothing but the best. So yeah, Floyd, back to you.
And not to take away from this moment. Next week on NXT at the theater in Madison Square Garden, Jordynne Grace is going to go one-on-one with Roxanne Perez. So Roxanne and Jordynne has now been added to this massive roadblock card next week. Okay. Next up, it was Trick Williams. Trick Williams squaring off against Kale Dixon. Now, Kale Dixon is the son of the legendary Finlay. That's Finlay's son. He is a son of Finlay. Unfortunately, there wasn't much to this match because Trick Williams defeats him via another referee stoppage, 9 seconds. A trick knee, boom. And that is that. Kale Dixon out for the count. He's done. So Trick Willie wins the match at 9 seconds. Eddie Thorpe shows up in the crow's nest. And Eddie Thorpe laid down the challenge. You and me in 2 weeks on NXT. NXT Underground Rules. And a lot of people are saying, well, why aren't you adding this to Roadblock? It's stacked. Hello. This match would have gotten lost in the shuffle. So kudos to NXT for giving these two their own platform. And they will literally have their own platform in 2 weeks when these two battle it out in an NXT Underground Rules match. So we're going to go NA on this one as well. So we hope Cora Jade's okay. I hope Kale Dixon's okay. So, man, because Trick Willie laid him out. So, and Williams looks like a badass, which is needed after a series of so-so performances. Eddie Thorpe is still as but Eddie Thorpe is infinitely more palatable in the NXT Underground environment, and I'm excited to see what Williams and Thorpe will do in the Underground in 2 weeks. So, and then after that, that was when Roxanne attacked Jordynne Grace, and it set up the match with Roxanne Perez and Jordynne Grace next week. So, all right. So here's the final card for NXT Roadblock from the theater in Madison Square Garden. Ethan Page versus Javon Evans in a New York City street fight. Roxanne Perez versus Jordynne Grace. And of course, the 3 huge championship matchups. The Hardy Boys defending the TNA World Tag Team Championships against Nathan Frazier and Axiom. And of course, Obafemi defending the NXT Championship against Moose. And then, of course, the main event, as it will be Julia versus Stephanie Vacour, champion versus champion, title for title, winner take all for the NXT Women's Championship and the NXT Women's North American Championship. So, huge card for next week's show. Main event of the evening for the North American Championship. Champion Tony D'Angelo, accompanied by the family, defending the title against Shawn Spears with his faction. Winner of the match in 12 minutes and 27 seconds. And new NXT North American Champion Shawn Spears wins the title here tonight. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I am not at all surprised by this outcome. I even told Michael Bullock during our impromptu NXT chat tonight that I made a bold prediction, and my bold prediction was I had this feeling Shawn Spears was going to win the title, and sure enough, he did. So I'll give this about 3.25 to 3.5 stars. Solid match. Shawn Spears' interaction with Ricky Saints before the match telegraphed the win here. I could see Shawn Spears holding the North American Championship up until Stand and Deliver, and I think Ricky Saints is going to win that. Is going to become the new North American Champion as part of Stand and Deliver next month. With all that said, D'Angelo should get an award for his sell job tonight, with his collapse during the finish being the cherry on top. So, a solid 3.25, teetering on 3.5 stars. They got the outcome on this one right, I figured. Tony had a nice run with the title, but I think in all honesty, Shawn Spears has been due for a title for the longest time. And finally, the former Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, now known as Shawn Spears, has finally laid claim to the championship gold, and it's about damn time. So 3.25, 3.5. I don't know what else there is to say except MF Monsoon, another new champion.
Yeah, history was indeed made. And I believe this is his first ever championship in anything related to WWE. I don't think he's ever been a champion. Not in NXT, not on main roster. I believe this is his first ever title in the company. So congratulations, Shawn Spears. You did it, my friend. You made history, and it was a 3.25, 3.5 star fight. Well done, Michael Bullock. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I thought this was a solid main event here. 3.25, 3.5 for me as well on this. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say except overall thoughts.
Before I do, just looking at his resume, yes, this is his first championship in WWE, but he's actually held championships in other various promotions, including Ohio Valley Wrestling. So go on his Wikipedia and you'll see his full resume. We don't really have time to break it down because he's got a decent resume here. So, but this is his first taste of WWE Championship gold. So, all right. So with that being said, MF, come on in. Let's get your overall thoughts on tonight's edition of NXT. Not bad for a quote unquote filler show before we get to the big show next week.
Yeah, I'll go 8 out of 10. I thought they did a really good job with it. Obviously it was a filler show. Obviously our thoughts are with Cora. Hopefully it's not a serious injury. It looks like it's, at first we were thinking it was the knee. Now they're saying it's a head injury, maybe concussion. I don't know. It looked like it was something during the match, and some people are saying that it might have occurred when she did that arm thing where she got backed into the corner by Jordynne Grace. I don't know if her head might have bounced off the turnbuckle, or I don't know, but they're saying that she might have hurt her head somewhere at that point. That's when the dreaded X came up. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with Cora. Other than that, 8 out of 10, solid. And Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for me as well. So, nice lead up to next week's big show with Roadblock. So, nothing more to say. Let's put a bow on this, Florio.
Well, I got to give my thoughts first, and by the way, how cool was it? How cool was it to see the legendary Lillian Garcia serve as ring announcer on this show here tonight? So I'm sure that had to be something. That had to be a moment for her, introducing the NXT kids for the first time. I mean, that had to have been something. So I'm sure Mike Rome will be back next week. But anyways, WWE has been on a tear this week between an amazing Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, a flaming hot Monday Night Raw. NXT continued that momentum admirably. tonight's show featured so much solid in-ring action with the Kalani Jordan Jada Parker match. I thought was the fight of the night. Solid show that led to what is shaping up to be the biggest NXT TV show with a major PLE feel in WWE Roadblock from the theater in Madison Square Garden. And I'll tell you right now, we're going to have ourselves one loaded show here next week, and I'll get to that in just a moment. So I'm going to meet you guys in the middle here. 7.5 to 8 out of 10 for me. So another very good show. I didn't really have much hopes going into this one, because I consider this the buffer show, the filler show going into the big show next week, and they set the table for next week really, really nicely. So and now we're on our way to the Paramount, boys. The theater in Madison Square Garden. Holy hell, what an NXT that's going to be. And I'm going to be honest with you. This is the most excited I will ever be going into a weekly episode of NXT television. And we're getting all this on free television next week on the CW. Not on Peacock, not on pay-per-view. Free television, folks. Enjoy it. All right. So with that being said, that will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We'll be back with you again on Friday night over on MF's channel, Bracefit 95, 11 p.m., immediately following SmackDown, as it will be the Cerebral Smack Talk. We will review TNA Impact, and then from there we will also review Friday Night SmackDown. And then after that, we'll next be with you 1 week from tonight, right back here on the Tone 25 for a huge Ridiculously Raw next week. Monday Night Raw from Madison Square Garden. NXT Roadblock from the theater at Madison Square Garden. And on top of that, MF and I will have a preview of the TNA Sacrifice special that will be taking place exclusively on the TNA Plus app next Friday night, the 14th, from El Paso, Texas. So you do not want to miss that show next week. So that's it. So until Friday night, for the Cerebral Smack Talk over on MF's channel, Bracefit 95, this is Anthony Florio here. For good old MF Michael Fletcher, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and of course, always and forever in spirit, the First Lady of Talking Wrestling TXN, the one and only Twisted Angel Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed have a blessed few days. And until Friday night, for the Cerebral Smack Talk you've been watching, Ridiculously Raw, right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streamy.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody. Bye.